What's up, people who enjoy the YouTubes? I've got a truck in the shop right now. It's a Honda Ridgeline, and it's got the big lift on it from TRAXDA. And I just thought I'd ramble about my run through of it. So the instructions are not quite complete, but basically you want to remove this whole knuckle. I don't think it really says that in here, but everything else is pretty straightforward. Yeah, it shows it there. It's completely removed. And then I also got these bushings here that I needed to swap, or the brackets anyway. So I needed to swap the bushings. And then there it shows you where to put the washer on the passenger side and how to remove. So you also have to take this plastic piece off here to get to the other two bolts back there. This wasn't super clear, but it's the same bracket goes here as it does on the drive line, the center drive line, the main drive line from front to back, that bracket. And then yeah, the clips don't really fit here, so I had to use zip ties. This is a real hodgepodge. Like this, hopefully they have a better solution. I obviously got this same boot, which is like Home Depot turbo pipe, whatever it is, special, and it basically holds up the original up to the top, and it does a pretty good job of sealing it, but not quite. This was really fun. Hold on to the hardware, otherwise it goes down into the void. I had to fish it out with my magnets. What about this? This was just fun. Pretty straightforward. Got the camber set to 0, so have fun. Alignment shop. What else do we got here? Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff looks different. Like there, I didn't get round pucks. I got triangle shaped pucks for the subframes. Yeah, what else? Yeah, the drive line went pretty smooth. I didn't have to trim this at all. I just yeah, so I got, with this has the rear, it's got a little bit more lift, so it has more pieces in the back that go underneath here. 2 more shims per side. Well, actually it's 4 because there's 2 on this side and 2 on this side. That probably give it an extra inch or so. Yeah, so let's go over the actual vehicle itself. But here's some references in case anybody doesn't have these this parts list. And then you got some hardware, the nuts and bolts. So yeah, to the car. All right, so let's look at the front. There it is up in there. There's the spacer preload bushing that they call it, and then the ride height lift at the top of that. Really nice sway bar link. I was very pleased with that. There's that boot that went in that maybe you can see. It just kind of holds up the seal on the top, like the original one. So I had to disconnect it at the bottom because you lifted it 2 inches with the subframe space, or looks like more like 1 inch. But these are the crux. These were they weren't terrible, but swapping those out, I had to get some toolage to make that happen. But yeah, the whole knuckle came off, and then they're kind of being stretched a little bit here, so it's not ideal, but it works, and it's still very flush down here. What else can I say about the front? Yeah, the boot is the only wonky thing that hopefully they've improved. But yeah, just a ton of labor. So we've got spacers here for the drive line. They're just very basic, and then this is a very specific one. So it also, and there's no instructions for this, it also spaces out this protector bar for the gas tank. So it shares a spacer with the the driveline isolator mount, as well as there's a third spacer that goes here, and I had to figure that out. It doesn't say that anywhere in the instructions. And then the rear, it's a lot more straightforward. And then so with the normal kit, you just get this top piece. With this kit, you have 2 more spacers that lower it another, raise it. So and then you've got a really, so I started by, I took it off here and here, and then I put it on here, and then I lifted it up here, and it was just really finicky, but it got done. One thing is that in the instructions and in some other ones I saw, they had spacers or washers, like 1/2-inch washers for all these bolts. These bolts were definitely way longer than they needed to be. So I can understand why I did see a bunch of spacers in previous videos of this kit being installed, but it 100% didn't need it. They're all tight. They all worked out. So I don't know what their story is with that, but yeah, I'll say it once again, just the sweat equity and the labor that went into this is pretty remarkable. I was pretty surprised. I was like, okay, just some subframe spacers and top hat mounts, but you have to disassemble the whole strut, and then let's see, I guess I'll lower it down and show you guys the motor mount spacer. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, this piece came. Oh, hey, gimbal. Just hang in there. Oh, I guess my gimbal's done. Let's try this again. All right, so like I was saying, this whole plastic piece comes off so that you can take this off, this pipe, and then you can get to this bushing back here, and then raise that so you're not reefing on the boot too much there. And then for the spacer here, they give you new hardware, and the spacer fits nice. So yeah, it wasn't bad. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna put the wheels on real quick and we can have a look at what it looks like. Okay, now here it is, unsettled. So I need to go take it around the block, and we'll see what it looks like after it's settled down, and we will measure it. But yeah, probably why he went with a little bit higher lift kit in the back, because there's going to be more load. I think he's planning on putting a tent on top of his truck, and those are heavy. So I've noticed that when you lift vehicles, you get a better turning radius, and that's what's happening here, because we have some rubbing just as I'm backing out here. It's already touching right there on the plastic, so I just need to do some trimming, do some futzing. All right, now there's how it looks after a test drive, and yeah, good results. So now this has, stock tire size, I believe, which is 28.5 size tires. Yeah, I'd say that's 28.5. And then at the front fender, we're at 35.5. And how we doing on the back here? 37, looks like. So yeah. So I would say overall, great success. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. A tremendous amount of work, an extraordinary amount of work, I would say. I'm embellishing a little bit, I'm going a little bit overboard, but it surprised me just how much went into it, putting the kit in. But yeah, so far, I can recommend. It's a little pricey, but it's high quality stuff, and metal chunks and stuff. But opening the packages, that's probably where the entire That's a. I'm trying to remember things like why was it so tough, but like just opening up all the individually plastic wrapped pieces was just like a nightmare. So that's just an example of why this is just like kind of a little over the top when it comes to just like spending time on it. But yeah, let's see any final thoughts. Okay. So one thing I'll divulge is that I was having some noise, some popping noises on the test drive, and you'll hear it here as I get under it and I push on it. So I've been hunting it down, and so it looks like the spring is touching the sway bar here, right there. So, yeah, right there. So you've got to kind of orient the top mount. You know, it's got these slots in it. So you've got to just make sure. So yeah, I'm going to get it back up in the air, loosen those upper bolts, and give myself some clearance for the sway bar, and that noise will disappear surely. So yeah. So it's adjustable. It's custom. It's custom for that overlanding lifestyle. Obviously, on this overland all-wheel drive Honda unibody Ridgeline city truck that's about to go do a whole bunch of work up in the mountains. Can't wait to pull it out with my Subaru. Honestly, that makes me really excited. Yeah, and I figured out you can put it in neutral mode still. You just got to hold the button down. So yeah, that'll be easy to lift it back up. So yeah, thanks for joining me today. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment. But a better idea, if you have any questions, is to call the manufacturer, call the company that sells this kit. TRAXDA. Yeah, there's their information. And yeah, it's like a $2,000 kit, I believe. Might be extra with the brackets for the lower control arms in the front. But yeah, thanks for joining me. This is Noah signing out. Peace.